Cinema Sickness here with another Game Boy pickups video for you. The masses have spoken. You guys left your comments, and it seems it was about split 50-50. 50% of you said yes, put your Game Boy games in, any Game Boy games you buy, include them in your daily sickness videos, and the other 50% of you said we'd rather have you keep them separate. So I figured since it was so close, it was about 50-50, neck and neck, and those of you who wanted me to keep these videos separate had really good points. A lot of you, some of you guys are really into games. That's why you want me to show them in my daily sickness videos. Other guys, you're not into games. You don't care about games whatsoever, and because of that, you're kind of bummed because you started watching my videos because you love cinema. You like seeing what I pick up as far as cinema is concerned. You have no interest in what games I get, and that's why you've been watching me for all these years. That's why you continue to watch me. And it makes sense, and I certainly don't want to, bug anybody who's been watching me for some time now by showing you things you have no interest in that you never watched my show for in the first place. So, you know what? I'm just going to keep them separate. I tried it out. You guys spoke, like I said, about 50-50. 50% of you said yes, 50% of you said no. So, we're just going to keep them separate. It is what it is. We'll work it out, guys. So, all right, for those of you who care about what Game Boy games I grabbed, let's take a look at what I've recently picked up. We got some stuff from Liberty Thrift, some stuff from eBay, and something from, where did I get this stuff from? Oh, from Zerns Farmers Market. So let's see what I got. So first thing up here is something I already told you guys I was going to go back and get, and that is Frogger. Very cool for the Game Boy Color / Game Boy. You get these black cartridges, simply mean it's a Game Boy Color game that will also play in the regular black and white Game Boy as well. So very, very cool. I did get this from Liberty Thrift and Home Furnishings. As I already mentioned to you guys, I received this in a lot. Where did I get that off of? Was it eBay? I think I got it. No, yeah, it was eBay. I got a bunch of games and a new SP player and whatnot, and all the games and everything in perfect condition. Everything looked great, except for the Frogger, which was apparently eaten by an animal or something. It looked like a dog had got into one of the corners. Actually, I think 2 of the corners were messed up. It still fit in the Game Boy. It still played. It worked perfectly, but it was definitely chewed on, and that kind of bugged me. And what really bugged me was the fact that literally that same day, the day I received the package with the game in it, was the same day I saw Frogger, this very release right here, this very copy right here, at Liberty Thrift for only $3. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It was the one game I left behind. I had gone back to Liberty Thrift twice to get games, and I was kind of bummed. I thought, really? I'm going to go back a third time and pick up the one game I left behind. The one game I left behind because I figured this game's already coming to me. I don't need it. I'm going to look like an idiot if I go back to the store one more time, but I sucked it up. I went back. I grabbed it. And I also got this for half off. Got this for $1.50. Again, games were not supposed to be part of the, toys and games were 50% off, but video games did not count as toys or games. They counted as media. So technically this was not supposed to be 50% off, but the lady said, you know what, you got 50% off every other game you picked up, and I did. I bought every game they had. So she gave me this one 50% off too. Very, very awesome. So Frogger, very cool. A copy that has not been eaten by an animal. That is awesome. All right, then some stuff. You know what? Now we'll take a look at eBay last. So this is what I picked up from Zerns Farmers Market. As you guys know, I was just there last weekend. Bought some decent cinema, but also I got some games. So let's take a look at what I picked up. And these all came from the same store. I got these for a total of $20. It was 3 for 10. Very, very cool. So I picked up 6 titles. So first thing I grabbed here were 3 Game Boy Advance titles. We have X vs. Sever. Very cool. I've actually never played this, but what I have played is Ballistic X vs. Sever. That I have actually played, and I have the movie as well. But this I played. This I really like. It's a first-person shooter, a really decent first-person shooter actually for the Game Boy Advance. You might think, people put the Game Boy Advance down so much. You might think that, how are you going to do a first-person shooter on the Game Boy Advance? It works. It works really well, and this is fantastic. And I popped this one in. This was good as well. If you like this one, you're going to like this one, and vice versa. So very, very cool. 2 X vs. Sever games. Definitely looking forward to playing both of these. This I've actually played and beat. So I'm looking forward to playing this one and rebeating this one. So very, very awesome. That was really cool. Love first-person shooters, and awesome to have them on the Game Boy. And then I grabbed Tak the Great Juju Challenge. Now, I'm not so sure about this one. I've just recently picked up a Tak game. I really liked it. I think it's like Tag and the Power of Juju or something like that, or something. That was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was I guess a platform game. It was pretty decent. It worked. It was fun. It was by Nickelodeon, so it's for kids, but it was actually really decent. I enjoyed it. Pop this one in. It seemed a little bit different, but still seemed kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to playing this one a bit more and seeing what it's all about. But it did look like a fun game, so I had to grab that. And then I got a Game Boy Color and 2 black and white Game Boy games, and I got some really awesome stuff right here. This is really, really cool what I got. So first thing I picked up here was Aladdin. That is absolutely awesome because Aladdin is fantastic. I'm a huge fan. A lot of people, for some reason, like, you guys tell me what you think. Which Aladdin did you like better? Did you like the Super Nintendo Aladdin or did you like the Genesis Aladdin? My entire life, have thought that the Genesis Aladdin was far superior than the Super Nintendo. That apparently is not the popular thought. Most people think the Super Nintendo Aladdin is better than the Genesis Aladdin. Maybe it's just what you grew up on. I never grew up on the Super Nintendo Aladdin. I had the Genesis Aladdin. I love that game to death. It is absolutely fantastic. It is amazing. By far one of the best games out there for the Genesis. I've played the Super Nintendo version, and I just wasn't a fan. I didn't really care for it. I didn't like the way it played, and it's a different game. It's not the same exact game just for the Super Nintendo. Both games are very different. And personally, I enjoy the Genesis game. What do you guys like? Anyway, the ones for the Game Boy are a lot more like the Genesis versions, and that's why I like it. There's also a Game Boy Color version that I really would like to get my hands on. In fact, they also did a Game Boy Advance version too. I think that's a whole new game though, the Game Boy Advance version. It's not the Super Nintendo version. It's not the Genesis version. It's a whole new Aladdin. But kind of in the same sort of realm, the same feel, the same kind of gameplay. I would love to get that. Looking forward to getting it. But I do also want to get the Game Boy Color version of this as well. So very cool Aladdin. I popped this in. I played it. I was loving it. Looking forward to getting through a bunch of this. This is awesome. Oh, this is good. Alleyway. Fantastic game. This is like Super Breakout. You just ball bouncing around. You're trying to break all the blocks and get rid of them all and beat the level. This is Nintendo's version of Breakouts. As you can see right there, that's actually Mario driving the spaceship. So very cool. This is fantastic. I love Alleyway. It's one of those games I had on my Game Boy back in the day, and I used to play it all the time, long before I ever played a copy of Breakouts. Breakout's great. I love Breakout, but I am a huge Alleyway fan. This is my favorite version. Well, Arkanoid's really good too. All right, so a little tough to decide. Arkanoid's pretty good. So I'd say Arkanoid and Alleyway are my two favorite probably, because Alleyway's pretty cool. I really enjoyed like Nintendo's take on the Breakout game, but Arkanoid is really, really good as well. So I don't know, tough choice there. Super Breakout. I kind of put those aside. Alleyway and Arkanoid are right up there. So very cool. So happy to get that. And this is great. Bionic Commando Elite Forces. If you guys have never played Bionic Commando, you should. It's great. You run around. You got this grappling hook of an arm. You're shooting at stuff. You're jumping. You're shooting. You're grappling yourself up on the things. It's great. I love it. This is a fun game. This is another one I used to have for my Game Boy back in the day. This is a fantastic game. Of course, I love the Nintendo version as well. This is great. Really cool find. All right, now for some stuff I got off of eBay. So for a total of $10, picked up 3 titles here. First thing we have is Pitfall, the Mayan Adventure. This game gets a lot of flack. A lot of people weren't like the biggest fan of this game. I think it's just because of the difficulty. It's not an easy game. This game is hard. It is. It's a really difficult game. You're not going to beat it right away. It's going to take you a while to beat this game. I always have a hard time with it. I used to have it back on the Genesis and played it all the time back when I was a kid. So I love this game. It's ridiculous. It's hard. It's very, very difficult, but it's also a lot of fun. But the reason why, so that's one reason why I think the game gets a lot of flack. But this release in of itself gets a lot of flack because it is missing the original Pitfall game. Because if I remember correctly, I think the game or the Genesis version, you could somehow play, if like, I don't know if you got enough points or you beat something or beat the game or something, you were able to get, like unlock or something, the original Pitfall game, right? For the Atari, I think, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's how it worked. You can't do that on here. That's kind of a shame. They probably could have fit it on this cart. So kind of a bummer they left that out because the original Pitfall game for the Atari is fantastic. So, oh, it is what it is. Then we have Marble Madness and Klax. As I've already said before, I'm a big fan of Marble Madness. It's a fantastic game. I used to play it all the time on the NES back in the day when I was a kid. One of the games I owned. Loved it. Fantastic. I am a huge Marble Madness fan. Klaxy, on the other hand, I had never played Klaxy before. First time ever playing it, I had heard of the game, but I didn't know what it was about. Really cool kind of like Tetris-y sort of puzzle game. You're dropping, there's just pieces coming down on a conveyor belt and you're dropping them. You have to like match the pieces up. I think either like horizontal, vertically, you're just trying to match all the pieces up in whatever kind of direction, kind of like, Connect 4 or Bingo or something like that, and get rid of them all and empty the board. It's a lot of fun. So very kind of Tetris-y, but a really good puzzle game. I really enjoyed it. That was fun. I'll definitely be playing that some more. So really cool collection of two fantastic games right there. And then we also have the Namco Museum. A lot of good stuff on here. I think like Miss Pac-Man and Dig Dug. I think was Pole Position on here, something like that. So a lot of really good games. I think there's 4 games. I'm forgetting one of them. But a lot of really good classic Namco games. Very, very cool. Namco Museum. Had to grab this for all the fantastic games that are on here. Great pickup. So $10 total for those 3 games. Pretty awesome. All right, and then last but not least, we have a package here, another eBay package. This I paid $20 for, but I got a lot of games. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So $2 a piece, and some of these are really, really good. Reason why I opened this up, and I'll probably always open my game packages from eBay and Listia and anywhere else I order them from, is because I want to play them first and kind of give you guys an idea of what the games are about. So first thing I picked up here was Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones. This was okay. You're playing as Anakin, and unlike the other Star Wars game I have, it's more like a top-down view, which I really like. This one, it's just like a side-scrolling platform, and what kind of bugged me about it is there's no like real attack when you're standing still. At least I only played it quickly, but when you're standing still, you can't attack people with your lightsaber. You have to be jumping or doing some kind of move to attack. And I don't understand why you can't just stand there and attack. It makes no sense. So I wasn't the biggest fan of this. This was just okay. I certainly will play it some more, get to know it, and maybe it'll be better once I start playing it some more. But right off the bat, my first impressions weren't too good on that one. Same thing goes with Hamtaro Ham Games. I did not find one single game on here. Starts up, you're walking around talking to other hamsters, and I'm looking for games. The whole time I'm thinking, all right, if I go in this tent, is there a game? No, it's another hamster I gotta talk to. Okay, if I go down this pathway, is there a game? I couldn't find any games. There's gotta be games on here somewhere. I'm assuming you're playing some kind of games. I'm assuming this is just a bunch of mini games. I couldn't find any of them. I'm just walking around talking to hamsters. I don't know what's going on, so I gotta play this one some more too, but I wasn't too thrilled. I thought it was just gonna be mini games, and not off the bat. Oh boy, then we have Shrek Swamp Kart Speedway. So just a Mario Kart ripoff with the Shrek characters. This game is broken. Not literally broken. I mean broken like just doesn't play very well. The speed is way off. You're going like too fast. When you hit a corner, you just like belt around. I mean, you're just going way too fast playing this game. Also, when I was playing, I got stuck inside a wall. So within the first like minute of playing, I come around a corner, I skid out because you're going 35,000 miles an hour, and I don't know why you're just going so damn fast. And I skid out and I hit a wall and I couldn't get out of it. I mean, I went into the wall. Like my cart was inside a wall, and no matter what I tried, I could see my cart. I just couldn't get out of the wall. I was stuck. So already I've had a glitch in the game, like for like 1 minute into it. So I was not a fan of this. Didn't play very well at all. It was kind of crappy. It's cool you got to choose from a bunch of like Shrek characters, but sometimes I really question this stuff. Like, did they never play Mario Kart? Like, you can make a good kart game. You just got to put some effort into it, which apparently TDK never did. Here we go. Pong, Asteroids, and Yar's Revenge. I think we all know Pong's a great game. Asteroids is also great. And Yar's Revenge. I had certainly heard of Yar's Revenge. I knew about it. I know what game it is. I had never played Yar's Revenge before. And now I know why. It's considered like one of those great classic arcade games. It was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to playing some more of that. So, very cool. 3 classic games right there. Then we have Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. I have another Pirates of the Caribbean game, which I'll show you probably later on. That game is fun. This game, on the other hand, not so much. First of all, you're apparently supposed to be Barbossa. I don't know what Barbossa you're supposed to be. Maybe a young Barbossa, because the pirate you're playing as looks nothing like Barbossa. There's a picture of the pirate you're playing as, like, you know, as somebody's talking to him and stuff like that, and you're seeing this character. I'm like, that's not Barbossa. That's somebody completely different. So I don't know who you're supposed to, I don't know. Maybe a young Barbossa. I'm not sure. But the gameplay was just kind of crap. You're fighting like giant crabs and stuff. It was not very good. I was not really enjoying this one. The other Pirates game I have, which I'll show you again in another video, that was more fun. This was actually pretty good, surprisingly. Lizzie McGuire 2 Lizzie Diaries. Now you're probably thinking, really? Lizzie McGuire 1, which I have, is horrible. Lizzie McGuire 3, which I have, is also horrible. So I kind of just assumed the same for Lizzie McGuire 2. Not the case. This was actually fun. First level, I was going around a school. There's like lockers that are exploding and I got to avoid. There's holes in the ground. There's like wet floors that I'm like slipping on. All kinds of obstacles I got to avoid. There's like little nerdy kids, which if they hit you, you know, you get damaged, or kind of the enemies. You got to bounce off them, and that's one really cool thing too. You got to collect all the diaries in the level and stuff. And a lot of them you have to like bounce and ricochet off other like nerdy kids. So you bounce off one, and then in order to get the next diary, you got to like bounce from one to the other to the other to the other. And I was like, wow, this you know, there's a little bit of skill involved here. This isn't just like bounce off, get it, wait for the next enemy, bounce off, get the no. You were bouncing off multiple enemies at at one time, all kinds of stuff. This was actually pretty fun. I was really surprised by this one. Second level was like a food fight, and you're like you're blocking. You have a tray, and you can block stuff, and then when you put the tray down, you can throw stuff at your enemies. I was really surprised at the fact that enemies could hurt each other. That was really cool. The two enemies, there's one on one side of the screen and one on the other, and the one throws something and you get out of the way and it hits the other enemy. The other enemy will die. I thought that was pretty interesting. Actually kind of fun. I'm looking forward to playing more of this, believe it or not. So again, the first game and the third game are horrible. They are nothing like this game. This game, kind of fun actually, believe it or not. Then we have Mighty Bean's Pocket Puzzle. Pocket Puzzles. Here's my problem with this. The game is not bad. It's kind of like Yoshi. You ever play the game Yoshi, where you have to like move. There's like a couple rows of different types of how do I want to describe it. In this game, you're playing as Mighty Beans, but you're playing as there's halves of beans down on this row of them. You gotta move the rows while the top half of the beans are falling down. You gotta like connect them to make them disappear, and it's kind of like, you know, it's a puzzle game. It's kind of like Tetris-y type thing. You gotta make the rows disappear and whatnot. But the main problem is that you can't tell what tops of the beans go with what bottoms of the beans. There's a purple character, and then you see a purple bottom. Okay, they may go together, but no, that's for the other purple character. I mean, it's really, really difficult to figure out what top goes with what bottom. They really should have done it better. They should have made the top and the bottom look very, very similar. No other bean should look like that. You need to be able to, you know, identify what top goes with what bottom and vice versa. You need to know this. It is very difficult to figure that out in this game. There were so many times where I just assumed, okay, the blue top goes with the blue bottom, and it was completely wrong. So that's my main problem with this game. It could be fun. It could be interesting. I like these type of games. Again, I love Yoshi. I think it's a fantastic game. This, very similar, but it's just too difficult to figure out what top goes with what bottom. They really should have done a better job with that, in my opinion. Then we have Tarzan Return to the Jungle. It was okay, just kind of walking around, but I don't know. It was all right. I wasn't a huge fan of Tarzan, but it is what it is. And then this is great. One of the reasons why I really won this, and that is Frogger Adventures 2, The Lost Wand. As I said, these Game Boy Advance Frogger games are fantastic. It's like old school Frogger where you're, hopping along and stuff, but it's as it says, this is Frogger's Adventures. It's an advanced version, so it works in the Game Boy Advance. It's definitely upgraded. Your skill level has to be, top-notch for these. It's not just miss some cars, hop on some logs. So much more. You're dodging enemies, you're dodging projectiles, you have to jump over gaps, and there's floors that disappear, and it's all kinds of stuff, and you're going throughout this whole big level. It's not just getting from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. You're going all around multiple screens. It's really, really good. There's a whole story aspect to it, and you fight bosses and stuff. These are great games. They took the whole aspect of Frogger and just put some steroids into it and made a fantastic game. These are great. I love it. All right, but the entire reason why I even bid on this, because really when it comes down to it, the only other game in here I really wanted was the Frogger 2. I mean, Pong and Asteroids was pretty cool as well, but this was the game I was looking for. I was actively on eBay looking for this game, and I came across this lot, and I was like, wow, that's a really good price for the lot. I'm just gonna buy them all. I don't have any of those games, and there's one game that I really want, and this here is my all-time favorite video game ever made. Yes, I'm going to say that. Klonoa, Empire of Dreams. This is an amazing game. I remember when I first played this, I did not put it down. This is one of those games where you pop it in, and the next thing you know, days later, you're just playing. You can't stop playing this game. It is a platform puzzle game. So, you're on it's like a platform game, but, with enemies and stuff, but you have to use the enemies to get yourself to different platforms and stuff. You can grab them and throw them. So you're throwing them at other enemies. You're launching yourself up with them. You throw them down. You can launch yourself up. You got to launch them into to hit like targets and stuff. It's a puzzle game. You got to figure out how to get from one spot to the other. So you get to like a certain part of the level, and you got to get to this platform above you, but how do you get there? There's a door blocking you. There's a lever over there. You got a bad guy. Okay, you got to throw the bad guy and bounce him off some stuff. Make it hit the lever. Wait for the bad guy. You got to do all this while another bad guy spawns. Pick him up. Shoot yourself so you can get through the door. It's kind of nerve wracking at times. It takes a lot of skill. There's gonna be many levels you're gonna get stuck on. Not because you can't necessarily figure out how to beat them. Some of them are pretty difficult to figure out how to beat. It's a puzzle. It's very puzzly. So there will be some spots where it takes you a little bit to figure out how you need to do certain things to get through the level. But once you figure it out, there are some that are just really difficult to complete. And when you do, it's so satisfying. It might take you forever, but I like that. I've always been a fan of having to just try something over and over and over and over and over again. I always think that's really fun. Like you get to a hard spot, like a video game where you can't jump over something or something like that. I always loved it. Or there's a boss battle you can't get past. I always loved having to try to just get past them. And when you finally do, it is so satisfying. And this game is absolutely amazing. My all-time favorite video game ever. This is one of the few times in my life where I became obsessed with the game, where I just could not stop playing. So I had to get myself a copy of this. There's a second one as well that's just as fantastic that I really want to get. I'm sure I'll get that soon. So again, Klonoa, Empire of Dreams. Man, this is a good game. If you guys haven't played this one, check it out. There's also like a PlayStation version or something like that, but it's a different game. I saw some gameplay of it before on the internet. And I think somebody listed it as like a hidden gem, and it looked like an okay game, but it's not a puzzle game like this. It's like the Game Boy Advance version and the console version are like two completely different types of games. I recommend the Game Boy Advance version. It's amazing. Again, one of the best games ever made in my opinion. Pick up any of the Klonoa games on the Game Boy Advance. They're great. So, all right, guys, there you go. That was it for the Game Boy pickups video. Grabbed a lot of awesome stuff recently. I got some more stuff that I'll be showing you guys in a later video. Didn't want this video to go too long. We're almost a half hour, so kind of wanted to break things up a little bit. So I do got some more stuff to show you in a day or two or so. I will do that. So, all right, guys, there you go. Hope you like this video. Hope you're cool with me keeping them separate. I'm going to do that now. Like I said, the masses have spoken, and I listened. So, all right, that's it. So like I always say, thank you so much for checking this video out. Simply just by watching and showing your support by watching, that means so much to me. I really, really appreciate it. But of course, you can also show your support by simply liking this video, by clicking that little thumbs up tab down below. It takes 2 seconds, and it means everything to me, and it really helps me out. I appreciate it. Also, you can subscribe. I do a brand new daily sickness video every single day. It's a video looking at my Sickness for Cinema, collection updates, hunting videos, reviews, looks at my collection, looks at my Sickness for Cinema on a daily basis, plus extra bonus videos like this one right here, sprinkled in for your extra added enjoyment. So hit that subscribe button. You will see a brand new video from me every single day. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, down below in the description, there are some links, things like my Patreon account where you can pledge a monthly donation to help support the show, a link to my Spreadshirt where you can purchase yourself a Cinema Sickness hat, a Cinema Sickness t-shirt, buttons, hoodies, tank tops, baby gear, kids gear, a satchel, all kinds of awesome Cinema Sickness gear to pick up if you feel ever so inclined. Of course, the usual is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow me on all those as well. And if you're on Listia and eBay, I have my Listia and eBay sites down there as well, so you can check out everything I have for auction on Listia and on eBay. And if you're at cinemasickness.com, all those same very exact links are right up above you, right underneath the Cinema Sickness logo. You'll see a bunch of icons. Click on any of those icons. They will all take you to those websites. And if you are not watching us at cinemasickness.com, if you are on YouTube, there is a link down below to cinemasickness.com. Click on it. Head over there, check it out. I post all these videos there, but I post so much more as well. There's all kinds of awesome stuff for you to check out over at cinemasickness.com, including Team Sickness. If you like my videos, you're going to like the videos from Team Sickness. So head over there, click on that Team Sickness tab, check out the videos, and show your support for all those great Team Sickness members. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all, I guess, on my next Daily Sickness video. See you then, guys. Bye.